There's nothing. This countdown is already 20 seconds in because it starts when I click the first button. And there's no confirmation at all ever that we're actually live.
Oh.
So I have to just cross my fingers and hope that
David loves Matt and Kat. Well, I love him too.
Oh, look at that. Mom can read the chat. Hey, everybody, it's me, Matt.
Hey, everybody, it's Kat.
Welcome back to the 10th floor, and this is my shelf.
Full of crap.
I'm open to tips on organization. If anybody wants to send me some cuppies, I will use them. In any case, hey, everybody. Mom and Matt, both here, live from Los Angeles.
Yes, right here. I'm in Van Nuys, California.
Absolutely. Let us know how the sound is. Are we coming through loud and clear? Is it too loud? Can I turn it down? Let me know. But get on out of that waiting room, folks. Climb on into the elevator. It's time to go all the way up to the 10th floor. And of course, it's not just us.
No. Gratefully, it never is.
If it ever was, I think we'd be pretty shocked and sad and wonder if we're actually broadcasting. Chandra's here. Kelly is here. David, Carolyn. Hello, Udak. Udak is with us. Kelly. Hi, Kelly. We miss you, Kelly, when you're not here. It's true, and I honestly mean that.
It's true.
Michelle is with us. Michelle. Just all y'all just talking. I love it. Queen of the South is here. Sin Cat, hello. East Coaster, hello.
Oh my gosh, you're all there. They're all there, Matt.
If I missed you, shout out. Shout out. Here we go. Hit the reaction button. Yay, Matt and Kat. I love Matt and Mom. Oh my gosh, you guys are so nice. You really are.
Yes, you are.
You really are. Hey, so this is the famed weekend that we've been building up toward, and there's been a couple of videos that we uploaded. They weren't lives. So, you gotta go to a different tab of the channel to find them. But they're there, a couple of updates along the way. But here's the live that we usually do when we're together on a Sunday.
What's that?
For these things.
What's that?
Well, this is what we do.
Yes, this is what we do.
This is what we do. But this is actually the best setup that we've been able to have so far because this is my setup.
Yeah, we're in the same space.
This is not a laptop in a hotel, folks.
No, and it's not yet, and it's not a Zoom call between he and I.
Hello,
we are right here together, for real.
Hello, Dolores and Elegant and Kita. Hello. And Sincat, first timer. Okay, great. Hello, first time. Click that subscribe button.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Did you see how close we are?
I know. Tell your friends.
Okay. If you just subscribed, that means we're 4 away. 4!
Yeah. I mean,
It's crazy.
I can get a little live update right here. Maybe we can do it by the time this thing is over. Wouldn't that be fun?
Call your grandma. Make her subscribe.
Grandmas are actually joining YouTube in droves. And we have learned that this weekend because my mom has been promoting like crazy. All right? Through making friends, through schmoozing as she does, but also talking about her love of soaps and how she talks about them with her son.
Yes.
So, hello to anybody new that we met this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hi,
Man, say something if we met you this weekend.
Oh, good. So, East Coast just said that our pictures are awesome. If you want to find the pictures that we have from the event, you can go to our Twitter page. You can go to our Instagram page. Both of them are 10th Floor GH is the handle. Yeah. You can also visit Blue Sky. I'm a little bit behind on the Blue Sky. There's some photos that I need to put up there. So if you're a Blue Sky subscriber, keep your eyes peeled. By the time this is all over, I'll have them all up there.
We met a ton of people yesterday.
We met the cast.
Oh boy, we did. Well, there's a large number not there, Laura Wright wasn't there. Steve Burton wasn't there.
Yeah.
Actually, Amanda Sutton wasn't there yesterday. Neither was Josh Swickard.
But they're going
to be there this afternoon. And we do have tickets for that event. What happened?
We got a donation.
Rebecca. See, I've never been there. I have seen the chat a couple of times, but now with him in his setup, I see the chat there. Wow. Yeah, my LASIK surgery is working well enough that I can still read it from here.
That's good. Rebecca with her donation. Thank you very much, Rebecca, for donating to the channel. Thanks for the update dates. Thank you for all of the updates. Headed to church. We'll watch the replay. All right, we'll see you then, Becca. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Oh gosh. So here. We had a thing here. Kaiwan talking about Chloe Lanier. Lanier.
Yeah.
How was it to meet Chloe on the 10th, guys? Us of the 10th Floor podcast. You can see how sometimes it's challenging for
Yeah.
Anyway, but it was actually really cool to meet Chloe. She is so unlike Mel in every way, shape, or form. Carolyn, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn.
For your donation.
Yes,
as well.
Chloe was a delight, and she and Josh Kelly, they're together. I don't know if they're married.
I've heard opposing information on that.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure.
But it's not a secret that the two of them are a couple, and they've been a couple a few times. For a while, a few times, a while,
Yeah.
and they have been out at events a few times together.
Yes.
It's not like
It's
my
not a
gosh,
secret.
no, it's not a secret.
No.
She was a delight. They were both so cute together. And what did you say to him, Matt?
I said, first of all, thank you, Kelly, for your donation. You guys are just so generous. We're really undeserving of it.
Thank you, guys.
I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for just week upon week of how just giving you all are. Like, sincerely, thank you. So I talked to them, and I said, so last time we saw you, Josh, was at the Emmys, and if you want to see that, there's a video of that on our channel. Mm-hmm. And the last time we saw you was when you fell into a river. And she goes, wait, didn't I fall off of a cliff? And I said, yes, you fell off a cliff into a river, on the Pennsylvania side of the river, to be exact. And then Josh looks at Chloe and he says, well, if you fell into a river, you're not dead. Folks, you heard it from Josh Kelly first.
And didn't you? I think you told her this as well. Oh, but they've stopped looking for you.
Yeah, but since you fell on the Pennsylvania side, they stopped looking. They stopped. No, in reality,
was fun.
they found her body and they put it in the ground, right? Or no, it was unburied.
No, it's just a marker.
Yeah, it's just a marker.
It's just a marker.
Anyway, folks.
Anyway, they were delightful.
They were. Josh Kelly knows nothing. They were joking, but
yes, they were kidding. And Josh Kelly, if you saw the photo, you know how I always tease and say he's a big old boy and he doesn't want. He's still playing Cowboys with James every day if he wants. That's what he'd be. That's his goal for the day. Mm-hmm. He still wants to go out and play with James. Yeah. He's such a big old boy, right? Mm-hmm. And with his overalls on, that just kind of cemented it. He's still he looked like he has his Oshkosh bagosh on, Yes. Anyway, they were a delight.
They really were. They really were. They really were. David says, I'm surprised by the ones that didn't show up, like Caitlin McMullen and Brooke Kurt and Anisha Harper. GH is on an off week right now at the same time. So I think that given it's, the beginning of August, it's an off week, I just feel like some of the actors were just preferring a vacation.
Yeah, perhaps they just weren't there, back home. Anyway, the studio's been dark for about a month, and they go back to work tomorrow.
So, some people just weren't there. I really don't know. Jeannie asks, did they say where Laura was? No, anybody that wasn't there wasn't any sort of explanation.
No. And we didn't hear anybody ask anybody that. I mean, we were just, when you're in that environment, having fun in that environment, you're not worried about who's not there. You're encouraged and excited about talking to who is there.
You're looking around and you're like, oh my God, it's Alexa Evans, it's Wally Kurth, like that,
Of course, you noticed they're not there. Yeah, Steve Burton was nowhere in sight.
No,
neither was Laura Wright.
But Jonathan Jackson was.
Jonathan,
and
you guys, I know there's some questions out there. I've actually seen a question out there already about Jonathan's cane.
Yes.
He was using a cane, and the cane is very prominent in the photos. It's
in everybody's photo.
It's in everybody's photo, exactly. So what happened, he doesn't have a big injury. He's not recovering from a surgery. He has lower back issues, and his back, and I've heard, all of us has heard this term before. Every once in a while, his back goes out.
Yep, he threw his back out.
He's got a big old, Charlie horse in his lower back. It hurts like hell. And
but he was there.
He
met everybody. He stood there until his line was done.
Yes, he stood there until his line was done, and you could actually see him wince every once in a while. You could tell it really hurt.
So thank you, Jonathan Jackson, for suffering through to honor your commitment and also say hey to folks.
Yeah, and we told him that too. And I said I've been watching you since you showed up at Bobby's. Meeting your Aunt Ruby. I've been watching since then. It's a delight to meet you. And of course, just telling him, thanks for, you could have just said, hey, this is hurting. I'm not, because the concert was the night before. His concert was the night before, and his back was already out then. And,
He's sitting up there strumming.
Yeah.
singing.
He was doing his thing. And and like I told him, I said, this morning, you could have woke up and said, this is not my jam today. It's hurting too much. Yeah. But you chose not to do that. Yep. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you. East Coast wants to know if anybody from the show committed to being on the podcast. I can't say committed, but there's definitely potential for follow-through with a number of people. So stay tuned. We'll see.
Yeah, we're not... Actually, we had some luck with that. Yeah. However, we don't want to tell you guys anything that get you excited about something that ain't going to happen, because we don't know for sure. Just like when my kids were little, it's not, if I was going to say I'm going to take them to a pool, or I'm going to take them to a water slide, or I'm going to take them to this, or I'm going to take them to the fair, or whatever, any of that crapola. So I never, ever, ever told my children about it until I knew we were going to go, because I didn't want anybody going, well, Mama, you said. So, Mama Cat says the same to y'all there in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disappoint you with something they don't follow through. So, there you go.
Well, Michelle and Dolores think that Jonathan Jackson is a class act, and we agree. We agree with that. There was something else in here that I wanted to... having back surgery in October, says Sincat, with a report here.
Oh, well, we didn't ask him about that. I did ask him because I know that I've known several individuals that have had this, and it's a lower back thing, but it's a sciatica kind of thing. I asked him, I said, Jonathan, you got sciatica? You got some numbness down your leg? He said, no, none of that. My back's just out. That's what he said.
Did you hug Eric? Eric? Marstoff?
Oh!
He put his arm around me, so did Carson Boatman, so...
Well, actually, when it comes to those four fellas up there, Wally Kurth got a big old hug every time I see him.
And several pictures. Like, we love Wally. East Coaster wants to know, Matt, did you... Oh, I'm sorry. Michelle wants to know, did you do your Maurice or Carlos impression? I didn't. But I did do a Yuri impression.
Yes, to Yuri.
To Yuri. And here's where it broke down. Because Ma asked me, actually. She's like, you threw your Yuri impression out like it was nothing. And usually you're more reserved when it comes to doing it for one of the actors. And it boils down to the fact that that's not actually his voice. Cyrus Hobie is as American, metro sounding as it gets.
He sounds like he's straight from Hollywood, California.
Right. So it's not his natural voice. So it's a little bit easier for me to mimic somebody's put-on voice. I would do Charles Shaughnessy for Charles Shaughnessy. I did Charles Shaughnessy for Tina. You did.
So you did, and you actually did Shaughnessy a little bit for his niece Amy, just a tiny bit.
Smidgen. Yeah, so it's if it's not actually their voice, I've got absolutely no problem doing the impression. But if it is their voice, then I don't want to ever approach somebody feeling offended or bothered or anything.
Until I asked him yesterday. He's always been reserved about doing, and I didn't understand until he broke it down that way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's their real voice and he's mimicking that, he feels like maybe it sounds like a little like he's making fun, and he doesn't want that. Yeah. But if that's a voice they're putting on in the first place, it's a free-for-all.
Exactly. Was Frank Valentini there, Caroline asks, and the answer is no. No, Frank Valentini wasn't there. However, we did hear about Frank Valentini from Cyrus Hobie, who plays Yuri. He talked about Frank and his relationship with him, and how the role broke through its original intention. And how it's carrying through now, and the little bits that he's had and the little character moments that he's been able to have, like with the Russian mafia and his little off-screen relationship with Monica. He really enjoys those just little weirdisms that they give to Yuri.
Yeah, I said to him, your character's doing pretty well. Even Aunt Tracy tolerates you and kind of likes you a little bit. She's trying to hide it, but she likes you quite a bit. And he goes, I know. You can win over Tracy.
Chandra wants to know, how was it seeing Jeff Kober again? Does he know how much he is loved? It was wonderful seeing Jeff Kober again. He absolutely knows how much he is loved. And I was able to, which was great, because I got to be honest, folks, I left that interview feeling like I did just the worst job talking to Jeff Kober. I was so intimidated by his talent the entire time. And
you're talking about our podcast.
Our podcast.
Our podcast.
So to put that into perspective, we had him on the show. We talked to him for about half an hour, and I was intimidated the entire time due to just how much incredible respect I have for what he brought to General Hospital. So it was great for me to have a cathartic moment where I got to talk to him again and also sort of like address it.
Yeah, he actually said, gosh, I just was so enamored and so excited about talking to you. I was just kind of fanning out,
I was just intimidated by just, the talent, my respect for you. And he goes, I didn't even notice. So I feel real good about that.
We were just excited that he remembered actually talking to us.
Yeah. On that note, and we weren't able to get a picture because he left before we were able to get to that side of the room. And there was just, it was organized chaos.
Thursday's event was less organized than Saturday's event, and like we went into Saturday thinking, oh man, this might be kind of difficult, but Saturday's event turned out to be way better.
Yeah, it wasn't difficult, but it also wasn't long enough for us to get a picture with every single person that had showed up. So just through luck, through how things worked out, through timing that the actors had, we weren't able to get a picture with Nathaniel Gray, who played Mason. But,
and he was handing out dum-dum suckers to everybody.
Dum-dum suckers, sucking so up on the entire time. But when he was going to his table, I spotted him. I said, oh, hey, hey, Nathaniel, how's it going? He said, oh, hey, Matt, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. Right? And then he goes and he does this thing. And as he's leaving, he makes sure to find Mama Cat.
He did.
To make sure that he said hello and goodbye before going.
Yeah, he came over and I said, hey, Nathaniel, what's going on? He goes, I said, you see Matt? He's here with me. He goes, yeah, I saw Matt and I spoke to him. He says, and I'm about to head out the door, but I did not want to leave and not come say hi to you.
So that was cool.
The I thought, my goodness, look at us. Look at us. Somebody likes us.
Well, Nathaniel likes us. So thank you, Nathaniel, for that. It's a validating thing because I don't know how much anybody else experiences this in their life. And this is something I was telling Mom after that encounter too, is I just have this low expectation that anybody ever thinks about me unless I'm standing in front of them. And so for him to be like, oh, well, I talked to one person. Let me go make sure I say goodbye to Mama Cat before I go. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. It's just a bewildering experience for somebody that's sitting in front of an ugly shelf. You know, people who have those experiences have nicer shelves. They have cubbies. They have ways to organize pieces of fabric, charging things, maybe a laptop or two, a feather from a hawk. Like any number. Face masks, by the way. Be safe, everybody. We got face masks back here.
So, you guys, did any of you guys see the picture from last night when we went to go see Cynthia and Maura? Did anybody see the picture of us? Do you know who I was? I was a character from the 80s and 90s. Y'all, who was I?
Give it 30 seconds for the chat to come through. If you saw the picture, there's only one up. Only one picture up. And you can find it on Instagram.
Who was I, you guys?
She was dressed like a movie character.
I was.
Let us know who you think it was in the chat.
I was dressed as a character.
You sure were. You sure were. Everybody thinks that Nathaniel's very sweet.
Oh, he's a darling. He is. He's a darling.
Oh my gosh.
So we did, but on Saturday though, we did get to meet some individuals we'd never met before.
Oh yeah. I can go through it. It's going to be a good reminder for me to just kind of scroll through the pictures here.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Like, for instance, I can tell you, we had never met Maura West. We got to meet Maura West. She's a delight. And so, like I always say to you guys, everybody's so pretty. So, yeah, Maura West.
Maura West.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first. That's somebody that we met for the first time. This is the third time we've come across Cynthia Watrous. So that's great. Somebody on Twitter responded to our picture of Jonathan Jackson asking if he had showered before the event. And the answer is yes, he did not stink. He did not stink. All right, what do we got here? Jonathan Jackson, we met him.
We met him for the first time.
Met him for the first time.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
Maurice Bernard, we did get a picture with Maurice Bernard, as always. But this is also our third interaction with Maurice.
Yes.
Then we met Yuri. We talked about him. Look at that. We met new Aiden, blonde Aiden in Africa Aiden.
Yes, the one that took off with his daddy.
Yeah.
So, Matthew, and what did you say?
I said
when you saw him, what you thought?
So I didn't say this to him because that would be weird. And hi, if you're watching, Colin, how's it going, buddy? But I'm sure you've seen the commentary because it's not hidden.
Right.
People, are they're ageist is what they are. But in reality, this kid looks staunchly 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, he comes across on screen to me looking older than
just
that.
A little older.
Older than a junior in high school.
It's the makeup job. It has to be.
But in person, Yes, he looked like a teenage boy.
Yeah, absolutely
Looked
looks
like
a
a
teenager.
teenage young man.
Mason was Austin's cousin, the lollipop licking criminal.
Absolutely. He's in the jailhouse still.
So we met little Colin Cassidy. I mean, old man Colin Cassidy. But he's excited to return to the show. He feels as though there's still doors open for it, and he thinks it'll be coming. So
he's hoping for that vacation with his dad to end, and he's going to scamper back to Port Charles and go to college over there.
Right. That teal dress. Wow, says Elegant.
Yeah, but who am I, Elegant? Who am I?
We'll find out. Somebody will know it by the end of the show. We, of course, also met a couple of siblings who have some splaining to do. Mm-hmm. All right. We need to know where the third one is.
And we asked them.
What did you do with Eloy? All right.
I asked them. I put them on the spot. I said, I don't know what you guys done to Eloy, but someone needs to let him out.
Yes, yes. So we interacted with Jacqueline Grace Lopez and Adrian Anchondo, who plays Marco and plays Blaze. Mm-hmm. Or played Blaze. And plays Blaze because she's off, but not off, because they mentioned her even just a couple of weeks ago.
They did.
So, in any case, we hung out with those two crazy kids, and we asked Blaze what she did to Eloy, and she would not admit to doing anything herself, but suggested that one of her siblings might be a little bit closer to nefarious actions than she is. So she blamed Marco.
Yeah, she did. She did. Oh, it was fun talking to everybody. It was just so fun.
It's okay, Elegant. It's all right. It's all right if you don't know the character, but it is a lovely, well-fitting dress.
Well, I'm just going to give it away because y'all ain't answering. My best friend invented Post-it notes, and I didn't bring my phone last night, so I couldn't give anybody any help with using my big old clustery phone. And Sandy came and got Matt and I and flew us off into the space.
With a helicopter. She was Romy from
I was Romy from Romy Michelle, time after
reunion.
time.
She even worked hard on the hair. I watched her do it.
Tried.
Chandra knew.
There you go.
So yeah, we hung out with the Rios Ramirez's.
We did.
Yeah, so that was fun. It was a good interaction, and it's interesting too because Adrian Anchondo, which if you had seen his state of mind, I'm sure you know this. I didn't see his state of mind, but his portrayal of Marco is so unlike his natural personality.
Yes,
it's actually very telling of how talented he really is. There is a stark difference from how Adrian carries himself versus how Marco carries himself.
Yes, and the way he speaks. Adrian is a lot more soft-spoken person.
Yeah. The Marco is so much more intense.
Yes.
It's but I mean, like, that's a very plain way of describing the difference in personality and just natural being. Thank you very much, Rochelle, for your contribution and donation.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Hi, Rochelle. Oh, she came in and would just immediately dropped a little tip. Thank you,
Rochelle.
We hung out with Alexa Havens, Bruner.
Oh my gosh. And
that was fun.
That was so funny.
We got to talk about all my children.
She was very chatty. She was very chatty.
Very much so.
Well, actually, a lot of them were. But Matthew and I have a tendency. We have a tendency to engage a little. I don't know.
I mean, we're boisterous personalities.
We're boisterous, and we're just out there. Where other folks, when they approach these people, and of course, I understand this 100%. They're a little timid. They're a little reserved. They're a little nervous. Where I'm like, oh, we're just out there.
Yeah.
We just do it.
Out there. We're just in your face. But it was cool. We hung out with her for longer than we deserved. But we got the photos and all that, and we got to talk to her about a breadth of things. Really, we mentioned all my children. Talked about Bobby Eakes.
Yes, and how we enjoyed her Mama Crystal.
Hoping for any future, like maybe she could be an ex of Marty Gray, and then we can get the trio going again. And I also asked her what it was that finally brought her back to daytime, because I was like, I said, after all my children, this could not have been your first offer to return, to do another show. So what was it that made you decide that? And she said, honestly, it was timing. Her youngest child had just turned 4, and maybe she said this in Soap Digest at some point, so this might not be new news to anybody. Yeah. But she said that
might not be.
Her youngest had turned 4, and she started to think about, well, maybe it would be interesting if I, put in an audition or two every once in a while just to put my toe back in the water. And the very next week, Frank Valentini called her to say, hey, we got this role, we got this plan, we got this story, what do you think?
Yeah, he didn't call her to say, hey, Alexa, why don't you come on in and let's talk, or, send me a tape, or, we want you to do a little, But no, he called her and offered her a job. He didn't tell her what the character was, though. But she said, even though after some interaction a little bit, she says, even though they hadn't told me, I had kind of figured it out.
Yeah. And I heard her talking to the people in front of us, too, about kind of taking over the role and what it was like to be kind of the third Lulu. And she mentioned something, it wasn't my conversation, so this was me eavesdropping, but she mentioned something about the material being closer to the original depiction of Lulu, and also her look was closer to the original Lulu as well, and that was an intentional thing that the show wanted.
Yes, because they were trying to go back to Lulu of old.
Yeah.
More spunky Lulu. And I see it a tiny bit. Maybe you guys do more than me. But she said that many people have told her that they thought that Julie Berman and herself had a very good likeness to each other. Yeah. I don't see it so much.
I think of the other two Lulus, she resembles Julie Berman more than Mylan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she, my gosh, like I always say, slow, put it in.
She's Babe Carey, no matter how you cut it.
And she was dressed, she had this old-fashioned long maxi dress on. And it kind of had I didn't ask her about it. I didn't have a chance to ask her about it. But it had, do you guys remember gunny sack dresses from the 70s and 80s?
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, it looked like a vintage gunny sack dress to me. And I was going to ask her if that's what it was. And I didn't get around to that. We were talking about other things. Because I was curious, because my wedding dress is a white gunny sack. Bought off the rack.
Yes. Kate Manzi is not crazy in person. She really enjoys being Christina. And she agrees that there's more maturity, more adultness in the role now than there had been previously. She was complimentary to her good friend Lexi Ainsworth.
Very much.
And recognizes and understands, respects, and appreciates the differences in the portrayals of the character.
And we asked her, "What do you think's going? What do you think's going to happen for you and Christina now that Charlie's has burned down, and now your place of employment is burned down and destroyed again?" And she didn't have much of an answer, not really. I mean, it's like...
She said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And she actually hinted toward, the LBG Center.
Yeah, well, I mentioned, you didn't get to open a center. You don't get to be a bar owner. What is it for Christina? And she actually mentioned, she said, when it came to the LGBT Center, she thinks that came down to just a simple budget thing, because they had to have built a set for it. And they didn't. She's not in the accounting book, so it's not like she was able to get detail or anything.
Of course not.
But in the time frame for this, I guess it just wasn't possible to do that. Later on, we get the Monica Quartermain cardiac thing, so I guess new year, new budget, whatever. But by then, the LGBTQ thing had been cut anyway. So she feels, but can't confirm that it came down to a budget.
Sure, why not? But Lulu's house, it gets used for everything. They're going to just use.
Just flip it on the other side.
Flip that sucker.
Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. Michelle wants to know, were you ever starstruck? I would be with Maurice. Not so much at these events. I'm more starstruck and nervous and anxious when we get them on the channel. More so than standing in this line and getting the photo and stuff. I guess it's just a setting thing.
I do not get starstruck.
No, mom will march across the bar and go talk to Paul Telfer.
But I will have to tell, and I don't know if you noticed this, but on Saturday when they just started announcing, because you don't know who's actually going to be
not
there.
Until they enter.
That's the way that General Hospital Fan Club Weekend does it. For the kickoff and for the main event, they don't tell you who's actually going to be there. So as they start announcing people, and it's Bradford announcing people.
Yeah.
and they come in through a door and skitters down the side and go up to the front at first, and they all sit together at the first for a Q&A.
Yeah.
But as they announced them, I just kind of got emotionally. It kind of affected me. I started to tear up. I started to tear up a little bit.
You were crying.
I started to tear up a little bit, because especially when Kelly Tebow came out.
It was neat.
It was neat, and everybody, and then the room just roared.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And I guess with the 20 individuals being called out one by one, I just got just a little perclipped.
Yeah, well, look at you having a great time, feeling an emotional connection to the moment.
I dabbed my eyes with my napkin, which was cloth. They had cloth napkins.
That is so sweet.
But then I got over myself.
That is so sweet. I'm glad that you got over yourself.
I got over myself.
Well, it's like Chandra's following along chapter by chapter. Can't wait to hear about your time with Robert Gossett, because he was next in the photo chain.
Well, we call him Hat Daddy, and he said, "Did that come from you guys?"
You guys did that? And I don't know who actually invented it, so we took credit in the moment. But, what it is what it is. We'll take credit for popularizing it, we'll say.
Yeah. And it's so enjoyable talking to all of them,
Yeah.
And if you can approach them with something fun and smart, they will talk and talk and talk.
How many times, not to be critical of people who have their questions and favorites and curiosities, but come up with something that isn't who's your favorite romance, who do you want to date on the cast, that sort of stuff, because that's the question that they get asked 500,000 times throughout this thing.
Exactly.
Come up with something else, anything else, and they like it. Robert Gossett is great. Mm-hmm. He's very appreciative of the 2 Emmys that he has earned from General Hospital.
Yes.
I mentioned and complimented the fact that he's jazz personified, and he gave me a double high five for recognizing that part of his portrayal.
Yeah, and he said I try to tap into that, He said, because it is such a big part of me, being a jazz performer for real.
Yeah.
And that's just my vibe. Mm-hmm. He said, so I try to bring, a lot of myself too.
Because Robert Gossett himself is a smooth talker.
Yeah, he is.
But Marshall is even more rhythmic.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I, Matthew mentioned that to him, and I told him, I said, I just really appreciate the when we see Marshall as the grandfather of wisdom, sitting on the patio,
he likes it.
talking with Trina, talking with Curtis, just being full of wisdom and advice and being a wonderful grandfather. And I sat on that patio setting at Curtis and Portia's house is just so nice. It's just it's a nice environment for a scene. And he's like, yeah, I appreciate that you like that. We had a great time talking to him.
Yeah, we did. I also talked about how his intro scenes and his work that he did with Donnell Turner, and I complimented that because we were complimentary to that on the show too. Mm-hmm. As just a stupid acting nerd, they even though it was repetitive and he agreed and disagreed at the same time. Mm-hmm. The material was repetitive, but the performance was not, and that was the point, and that was the compliment, and he recognized and appreciated that too. So, anyway, good time. Irma wants to know what was our most memorable conversation. It probably was that one, to be honest. There's a lot of memorable ones, there's a lot of fun ones, but I mean,
we had a really fun one with Becky. And we had not met her before.
No. And people were like, Becky doesn't like to do these things. I think they're lying.
Well,
I just don't think she likes to do them a lot.
Because she didn't seem like she was hurting for a good time.
Space Cases.
And she's like, wow.
Show. And it actually took her a beat to go, space. Oh, yeah. And I even talked to her, and she pulled out memory of replacing one of the characters. I was the imaginary friend. What was her name? Catalina. You're starting to really trigger this stuff inside her mind. So that was fun. Fun. Because really, I have been watching Becky Herbst since Nickelodeon. She went from Space Cases to General Hospital. And here's the thing, folks. Memory's a funny thing, okay? I don't know if this is true, but reflecting upon the fact that I had watched her on Space Cases, and then she went to General Hospital, and I have had a connection to the Lucky and Liz romance from when I was that age, I must have recognized her at the time as the girl from Space Cases that is now on this soap opera.
But you don't remember that.
But I don't remember
I'm sure
the
you
connection.
Did. I'm sure if you could do it now, you could do it then.
Yeah, but at the time, I must have made the connection. Oh, here's this, and now let me watch this.
And it's kind of the same story as Kristen Storms, She had that big childhood role too, right?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, Xenon,
yeah. Yeah.
I think Becky likes things that aren't forced. I feel she values her off time, says Chandra. And there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, she looked lovely. So pretty.
Your villain question was brilliant, says Chandra. Other hosts were quoting you. If you want the answer to that villain question, go to our day 3 recap. We cover that interaction. But yeah, I think because we were assigned the same table as Tracy from Sunday Shift. So hey.
Yeah. Hey Tracy, if you're out there.
Hi. It's good to have sat with you.
And it was funny too. The couple sitting next to us, and I don't remember their names.
It's all good.
Anyway, the couple sitting next to us were from our old stomping grounds, Union City, and they went to same high school as Matt.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It was a good time being able to talk to the people at the table, though, and fill the space. There was even somebody that left their table to come to ours because their table was being too quiet, and they're like, "You guys are actually talking.
You guys are over here having fun." And
she sat down.
She sat down for a while. Her name was Christina.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, Christina, her husband. Hi. Was Chris fun to meet? He sure seems like it. He was. So we got to hang out with Chris McKenna, who plays Brennan, at the kickoff. And we covered that a little bit at the day 1 kickoff video as well. Talking to him about WSB Brennan. We mentioned to him that it was only a matter of time before Carly kicks his ass. And I wondered if he flips.
And that's exactly what we said.
Yeah, and I wondered, is he flipping through the script pages, going, "Oh my God, oh no, she's gonna get me for this," and he goes, "We both do that."
Yes, he said, yeah. He said, Laura told him, "Oh, wait, I'm gonna get you someday. I'm gonna get you someday. You're messing with my Jocelyn. I'm gonna get you someday." So they're having a lot of fun with it. Yeah. Chris McKenna, he came to the kickoff.
Yeah.
On Thursday night, and he was there from the very beginning to the very end.
He was also there from the main event from the beginning.
Yes, and the main event from the very beginning to the very end. And I tell you, he had just like a big old brilliant smile on his face the whole time. He was having a ball, and when he very convincingly told us how much fun he's having.
Yeah. And I wonder how much they ultimately made off of their $10 headshots.
I didn't see a lot of people buy them. So we didn't buy a bunch of headshots and stuff because actually, for Matthew and I both, we're not real autograph people.
Yeah, we're not memorabilia folks. Like I collected the autographs for decoration for the podcast, but since I'm not doing that right now, there wasn't a big pull.
Right. So the photographs, and I love the fact that Soap Opera, General Hospital Fan Club Weekend, the photos are part of the admission price. Yeah. Which is wonderful.
Yeah. You get to who you get to in the time allotted.
Yeah. They're not going to take no picture for you and then print it out and have you come up to the front and get it before you leave, like a cruise ship. Nothing like that. But you use your own iPhone. Everybody for most part has a decent camera on their phone.
There were people that
were digital cameras. I think I saw 2 people with real phones there actually.
I saw real cameras.
I mean real cameras.
Yeah, I saw 2 people with real cameras. I saw 2 people with digital cameras too. But like 1999 digital cameras where you push the button and then you also have to wait 5 seconds before it finally flashes. And
and then you gotta wait for the green light. Make sure it's doing that. Yeah, technology, man, it flies, doesn't it? It's so fast now compared to when I was a kid.
Jeannie agrees. It's more fun to hug and interact, and that's the best part over the autographs. Maybe next time. So this was our first time going to this, so it was definitely a year of observation and learning. Next time, maybe I'll get a couple of autographs, but not maybe intending to keep, but intending to share with those who weren't able to come and watch.
I think that, the only one that seemed a little bit not just surprised that we didn't have anything for him to sign was, Maurice kind of put his hand out, just expecting something. I thought, we ain't got nothing to...
Oh, no, we just want the pick, Maurice.
We just want the pick, and I said, we didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, and we did. We talked to him a little bit about all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, actually...
Comedy came.
I've learned in the past, for me... The way to get Maurice to engage is you have to talk about a scene. You got to talk about a performance, something that he's actually done that you've seen on television. If you talk about, just the weather or
he won't care.
He's going to be like,
But she mentioned specifically Friday, something that was on recently.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't pull this out of my whatever. I enjoyed it on Friday's show when Sonny went to Alexis's office to talk to her, and I think her name's Caroline is her office assistant, and how she gushed over Sonny. I thought it was comedic, and he was funny as well. And I said, I appreciated it. I thought it was funny, and I said, and we just don't get to see a lot of funny Sonny.
And he goes, I'm actually really funny in real life. When I go on my tours, I'm telling jokes all the time. It's true though, because he really in the Q&As and stuff that we've seen Maurice Bernard, and he leans on telling a joke. And
he does. He can be very funny.
Yeah. Because go watch the video. We'll spoil a little bit of it, but when we asked if who amongst the cast thinks they're a villain, Maurice said, "Oh, I'm not a villain. I'm a coffee importer."
Yeah.
So. Do you get more of an intimate time, Irma wants to know, at the GH Fan Club weekend versus going to Graceland? I don't know. We haven't been able to go to Graceland, so I can't speak from experience.
No.
I get the feeling that Graceland is smaller, so I would say probably more time at Graceland. Mm-hmm. That's all I can say. I really don't. I can't say for sure.
Yeah, from my understand, 12...
Hi, Miss DJ.
12 cast members are typically at Graceland, so I'd imagine since it's that long an event, yes, you would wind up with probably some more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how you use that time is just so much up to you, how engaging it can be.
So the placement of some of these actors in the room was interesting when it comes to the plot of the show, all right? Because they had Rebecca Herbst sitting next to Rick Hurst. And I didn't realize how similar their names were until they were written next to each other on the wall. Rebecca Herbst and Rick Hurst. And then, oh my goodness. And then across the room was Jonathan Jackson from Rebecca Herbst. So it's as if she was lovingly and longingly looking at this distant love while standing next to somebody that's encroaching.
Right?
But we got to hang out with Rick Hurst a little bit too, and talk to him about this most recent run.
Yes.
And he mentioned that he was happy to be playing a different element of Rick to a degree. While he enjoyed his time sharing a bunch of scenes with Sonny, he's liking the fact that other elements of who Rick is being more prominently explored rather than the relationship that he has with Sonny.
It totally made sense when he told us that too. It totally makes sense because, everything with Sonny, unless they write some new crazy arc, everything with Sonny and Rick has always been kind of antagonistic, putting up with each other. I'm not killing you because you're Adela's kid too.
Yeah. But he's liking being, the ex-husband and the love triangles and the Ava thing and the blackmail and just these other things that are Rick that isn't Sonny-centric. And he's appreciative of the opportunity to not be necessarily pigeonholed into one emotion.
I think Sonny's kid, his niece trying to kill him is enough interaction with Sonny for right now. Sonny might have, if Sonny ever finds out about that, he might have to tell Rick, hey, baby brother, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. My baby girl tried to kill you. Well, she's having a bad day.
Yes. Mara and Cynthia are wonderful. We mentioned them briefly before, but they're super wonderful. Just amazing, great. I always mention Lost, and Cynthia just has such fun memories of that show.
Yes. So. Oh, and Maura's... one of her daughters was there. She looks a little bit like her mama.
Oh, yeah.
And she is, stunning, just like her mother.
Somebody asked Maura what she would want one of her acting daughters to play and perform in. And she actually, to my surprise, honestly, it just goes to show the love of classical theater. Mm-hmm. She was like, I want to see her in the Scottish play.
Yeah. Ooh, and she actually said, and I don't remember, I don't think she actually said the projects, but she said she's going to have an opportunity to actually act with 2 of her children. Well, so it sounds like she got a mixed bag of kids that, they're all young adults or teenagers, I guess.
Yeah.
So anyway, she has a mixed bag of kids, some like this and some like that. I can relate. I got 3 kids with separate interests as well. What do you know?
Look at that.
What do you know?
Look at that. That's pretty much who we got pictures with. We're gonna finish off today with Amanda Setton and Josh Swickard.
Yes, that starts at 2:30.
Yeah, it starts at 2:30, so it's 12:30 now, so we're gonna have to start gearing up for that pretty soon and get back over to the event, get checked in, settled in, and all of that.
So yeah, and it'll take about 45 minutes to get over there, right?
More like 20.
Yeah. It took me longer than that to get to your house.
Well, depends on traffic.
Ugh, LA traffic. Oh my God. It's amazing to me that every single car here doesn't have a dented fender.
A lot do, though. A lot do, let me tell you.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you.
It's the craziness down here.
Oh, gosh, folks. I think that's going to be our actions and reactions and chit-chats about the fan club weekend so far.
Yeah, and we'll have a little quickie something later on, right?
Yeah, we'll cap the video, or we'll cap another upload. Probably won't be live, but we'll do another 3 to 5 minutes or whatever, like we had been, and give you our feedback on the Josh and Amanda show.
Yeah, and tonight, after the Josh and Amanda show, I am immediately getting on the road and driving home. So, you guys, think about me, my little, travel mercies.
I would never subject my mother to cooking, Chandra. Never. Never. Have you cooked for Mother? No, so unfortunately, she's here hanging out now, but just my space is just never accommodating to guests. It really just never is. It's great for me and the guy at the other side of the door, but we're paying rent based on your donations, so it's hard.
Their space is small, and when I come down here and spend time with Matt and do this stuff, it's vacation for me. I don't want to stay on his crusty old couch. I really don't. I want to go to the Hilton and go in that fluffy big bed.
She enjoys. She really even camping is glamping. The mobile hotel. Mom enjoys the hotel experience. So
I do.
She does.
Yeah.
And she likes going down to the bar and having a little cranberry vodka and all kinds of just enjoying the experience.
So the first night I'm there, I was talking. Gentleman's down there, and he's talking to me a little bit. And he's starting to get boisterous about politics and nonsense. And then he starts, he said a couple of cuss words. And this is an open bar where, children can come up. It's not like a bar. Mm-hmm. It's like lounge in the hotel.
It's just out there next to the entrance.
Right. It's just the lounge, right? And you can order food and everything. This family comes up and they got like a 6 and 7-year-old. They got 2 little ones there. And he's getting boisterous and stuff. And I go, hey, you need to stop. There's babies behind you. You got a couple of babies behind you, and they can hear you. He's like, bye, good night. I laughed. I said, see ya.
People are silly. People are silly. Well, folks, it's time to get on back in the elevator, go back down to the first floor. If you had a great time, like the video, subscribe if you want some more. Hello to people who sat with us for the first time, and hello to anybody that's joining us in the aftermath, and it's also your first time. Hi. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Come back for more, because next Sunday we're going to be back in the regular rotation. We'll be talking about the plot of the show. We'll get into the GH at 11. We'll get into Beyond the Gates and Days of Our Lives at 1:30. And we'll see what comes from the conversations and whatever's that we put out there, the feelers that we put out there into the universe this weekend.
There you go.
Getting somebody here to chit-chat about what's going on. So follow us on social medias everywhere.
Oh my gosh, we're so close with like 5.
So do that, please. Give the first floor, tune your radios of previous episodes that you can find on your favorite podcasting platform. If you can't find it on your favorite podcasting platform, you can reach out to us on social media. And I'll point you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. I'll say that one more time. Like and subscribe.
Oh, and one thing I just wanted to say before next week, because I just enjoyed it, and I slightly was surprised. The articulates were good.
We'll get into that next week.
We will.
All right, folks. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you next week right here on the 10th floor. Goodbye.
Bye.